Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and jump in today's video. So for this first DIY, I'm taking one of these Dollar Tree signs. If you're like me and you don't want to mess around with the glitter and you want to use the back of these signs, but the staples used to drive me absolutely insane because I felt like once you painted them, you could see where it had been like stapled in. And I found by going in with any like kind of sandpaper or your finger sander and sanding that down, it actually makes it flush with the wood. Like you couldn't even tell that there were staples to begin with. So that's what I did. I just started by removing all three of them, sanding them all down, and then I wanted to paint them. Now, you guys know I usually do like white, very like neutral colors, but because this is winter, I wanted to go in with like this blue. And I think it's like blue snow, maybe. It's by Apple Barrel. I'm not completely sure. If you guys are wondering, I will definitely look, and you can leave a comment down below and I'll tell you. And this wouldn't be my video if I didn't excessively use paint. But I just started by giving these all a good coat. You know what I mean by good coat, just coverage, because I still want some of that wood to show through, because I do want it to still look rustic, even though it is a blue. So once that was done, I'm taking these little sticks. You can use, honestly, whatever you want. And I just start by shaping out a snowflake, cutting them. I used, I want to say one long one for the middle, two medium sizes, but I wanted them to equal out to the middle. And then I started making 12 mini ones to come off the sides of the long ones. So it's probably easier for you guys to just watch. Once I had all those cut out, I am taking my chippy brush and some antique Waverly wax, and I just want to distress these because, you know, I do want these to look farmhouse. I know I said it's blue, but I still want it to look very rustic, and because that's the theme of my house, even though, you know, not a lot of people do that anymore, but I love that look, so that's what I usually go for. And again, you guys can do whatever you want. You could paint these things pink if you want, but this is just for inspiration, so this is what I like. So once I got all of them distressed, you know, I always go back in with my sander and I sand the distressing down, making it all kind of just blend in like they were made this way. So once I have that done, I'm going in and I'm gonna start hot gluing the little wood pieces. So I start with the middle, making sure that that's centered, and then I start by going out with one of the little snowflake branches, and then you wanna make it look like diagonal, if that, I don't even know if that makes sense. You want it to look like they all go together. So when you put your first one diagonal, the one going upwards, you wanna put the other one like it came from that side. I don't even know if I'm explaining that right. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch. Once you have all those glued down, you're gonna take the little ones, and you'll need 12, and you're gonna go in and start gluing those almost like an arrow, the end of an arrow, so it starts forming a snowflake. So once I had that complete, it should look something like this. And then my hot glue gun, I don't know, maybe if it's the glue, but I have strings everywhere. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to take those off, make them look like I didn't hot glue this down. And then I am going to take some white Waverly chalk paint and just a small brush and very little, and just go through and kind of just dry brush those branches so that they look like they have snow on them. And then, yeah, this is complete. This one is complete. We still have 2 more to go, okay? Okay, so for this second one, you are going to use some buttons. I know. I use them all the time. Okay, so but for this one, I am just picking out neutral colors. And I just go through my buttons and I just pick out grays, blacks, blues. You can pick whatever you want. Again, you can do them all colorful if you want. But for my project, I wanted them all neutral. I start out by gluing almost like the biggest one, not too big, in the center of this sign. And then I lay a bead of hot glue going upwards, and I put 4 going up and then 4 going down. Now for the side of the snowflake, you kind of want to catty corner those buttons that are going to come out in the middle of the center button. And then you just start by putting 4 going out on each little, not branch, but each little snowflake thing. And then when you're done, it should look something like this. And then I did the same thing that I did with the branches. I dry brushed the buttons with some of the white Waverly chalk paint. The only thing that I did different with this is afterwards I went back over it with my chippy brush to kind of give it a more distressed look. So for our third one, I am taking these little basket pieces. This is from a Dollar Tree basket I cut up. I have no idea why, but I kept the little pieces and it turned out super cute for this. So I am repeating the same thing that I did for the wood. Like the branches, I cut out, the long pieces. The only thing that I did different is they were all the same size and I kind of glued them together. You can see right there. And then for the little branches coming out, I glued those on the back of the things. So you couldn't see where I hot glued them. And then once I had all of those on, I went in, then I hot glued the snowflake itself to the piece of that wood. And then again, once I had all that glued down, I took some of the white Waverly chalk paint and I dry brushed this as well. And then I did the same thing that I did with the buttons. I went over those with a little bit of the Waverly wax too, just a little dry brushing from the chippy brush that was still left on there. Nothing, extravagant. But I think these turned out super cute and I can't wait for you guys to see how I put them together. So once that's done, you're gonna flip them on the front side, and I'm just taking some burlap ribbon and I am gluing them together. So, and you can use whatever you want. Farmhouse beads would be cute. Any kind of ribbon, I think it would be absolutely adorable. Now for the top of this, I took some of that same burlap ribbon and kind of made a loop at the top. And then I'm taking some more and I'm making a bow. So I cut a piece and I make like this almost tube shape. And then I cut another piece a little bit longer, and I'm gonna lay that underneath there and take some jute and make sure it's centered, and you're gonna wanna take your jute, place it in the middle and tie it so it forms a bow. This is one of the times that I leave the jute on the back of the bow instead of cutting it, because I just take that same jute that I used to cinch the bow and I tie it on the top of that little hanger, and I just kind of fluff out my bow, mess with it a little bit, and this DIY is complete. Hey guys, I hope that you're enjoying today's video so far. I just wanted to come on here and wish you guys all a very Merry Christmas, and to also let you know that today's video is a little mini hop. It is with Shayna from Robinson Repurposing, Dying to DIY, and Melissa from All Things Crafty. And I love these girls, love their style, was super excited to do this with them. So I'm gonna leave the link to their videos and their channels in the description box. Go check them out, show them some love, and let's get back into crafting. So I just wanted to put one more Christmas DIY in a video before we move on to Valentine's and winter. This one is super, super simple. I'm just taking this old picture frame that has been sitting in my craft room. I took the back out of it, and I'm taking one of these dollar wreaths from Dollar General. They were $1. You can use any wreath you want. You can make your own. And I just start by kind of fluffing it out because this is a dollar wreath, but I did want it to look a little bit more fuller. So I'm just kind of maneuvering it and making it just a tad bit fuller. Next, I'm taking some red buffalo check ribbon from Dollar Tree. You can use whatever ribbon you want. And I'm just taking it and I'm looping it in between the branches of this this wreath. So, and then I hot glue the ends. I'm kind of making sure the length is good. But once I do get the length, I cut it. And then super simple, you just hot glue it to the back, but don't do it where you can see it. This picture frame actually still has glass in it, so I did not want that to show. And then that's it. So for this DIY, you're gonna need 2 of these little houses. I have had these forever. I got these from Dollar Tree and I'm finally going to use them. I start by removing the jute bows that were attached to these little guys. And I have heard other crafters say that it's impossible to remove those home signs on the front. So I flip it over, and because I don't want to remove these stickers and I kind of just want it to all look flush, I am giving just the back a good coat of the Ivory Waverly chalk paint, and the sides, again, you guys know, not a good coat. I kind of like that wood to show through. And then I let those dry. Once those are dry, I'm taking some of this burlap snowflake burlap fabric I had. This was actually a part of a wreath that I got from like Walmart 5 years ago, and it's just not my style anymore. But it's wintertime, so I wanted to, repurpose this. So I start by taking the fabric and I just lay hot glue on the houses and I pull it as tight as I can, hot gluing the fabric to the front of these houses. Once it's good and like stuck on there, you will then go back in and trim that out. The hardest part I found was just stretching that fabric to make sure like there was no slack left in those. So once you have it cut out, it should look something like this, and then you're just gonna repeat that step for the other one. And then when you're done, they should look something like this. And then I am taking some jute and I'm tying it off on the back, and I take that and I wrap it around a good 7 or 8 times. I'm just kidding, I didn't count. Just enough until I thought, okay, that looks good. And then I tied that back off on the back. Then I took a little branch of the frosted fern, and at first I only did one, and I just kind of weaseled that down into the jute. And then I'm taking some Dollar Tree pine cones and I'm gluing those on. And I thought, okay, it's looking good, girl. And I was like, no. And then I pulled these tags out and I was like, how cute would that be on there? So I flying by the seat of my pants here. I'm like, let's put it on this one. So I repeat what I did on there on the first one as far as wrapping the jute. The only difference is I want to put this tag. But first I took some of antique slow down, girl, Waverly wax, and I just distressed the front of the tag and then kind of sand it so that it's distressed but not too dark to where we can't see what we're going to write on it. So I just take the tag and I string it through that jute, and then I flip the house over, tie it on the back. And once that's tied off, I wrapped it 20 times. I'm just kidding again. I wrapped it until I thought it was enough, and then I tied that back off. And then I'm taking my Dollar Tree furniture scratch marker and I'm just writing on the little tag, "Let it snow," because I think that's super cute. I don't know if they were making fun of me because I say super cute a lot, and they were like, oh, that would be a fun drinking game. I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys no. So anyways, so once I had that done, I kind of like this one just with the tag itself, but I do go back to the other one in a second and I'm like, we need to add some more. So I just take another one of those frosted berries and it's frosted berries or frosted ferns, and I kind of just stick it going upwards, and then I try a couple other things, but I just felt like I liked the berries the most, and then I hot glued that one down because I want it to stay a certain way. And then once you have that hot glue down, you're going to need another one of those tags. I don't know if I told you guys, but I grabbed those from like Dollar General. And they weren't expensive at all. You can probably find them at Walmart as well. So then I wanted obviously to add a tag to this one because I want these to kind of be a set. So I did, I kind of stuck it in there. It's looking really cute. I'm like, let's just go for it. So I distressed that one as well with the antique Waverly wax, sanded that down, and then you're going to need some more jute. So I strung that through some jute as well, and then I kind of maneuvered it in between where the pine cones were and the frosted fern, and because I wanted this to look like it was made with it, and then I wrapped that around I don't know where the heck I'm at. I'm so out of focus. Okay, or out of frame. But all I did was just wrap it a few times, and then I tied that off on the back as well. And then on this tag, I'm writing Winter Wonderland, and I kind of got crazy on the end of land with my D, but that's okay because I think these turned out, y'all ready? Super cute, okay? And I want these as a pair, and I think these are going to be absolutely, I'm never one of those people who decorate for winter, but I think I'm going to start this year. I usually go straight to Valentine's Day, but I love how these turned out. As always, you have to let me know which one is your favorite from today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out those other girls. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.